Okay, welcome back to what I believe is going to be the final episode of the Escape Room series. And in this episode, we're going to put on some final finishing touches, as well as we're going to talk about the settings that are important to set up correctly for an effective escape room for your end users. First point here is maybe a finishing touch to this room, because right now you can see that there is no roof. So we're in a room, but we don't have a ceiling, and that isn't really a real life or an effective way to create the sense that the room that we're trying to create. So if I go to the creation menu, I'm going to go to shape, and I want to create a plane. Click on the edit menu. It is blue. I don't want it blue. I want it to be the same color as the wall. So I'm going to choose the picker, come over here and choose the gray there. Next, I need to change the orientation. So first thing is to use the circle on the outside to get it level-ish with the floor. And then I'm going to use the arrow to move it up to the correct level. I'm going to grab the outside handles on the corner to start making it larger. We don't really need it to be perfectly lined up with the corners. We just need it to be big enough to cover the entire, oops, that was weird. I'm going to move it up a little bit more, as well as move it down towards the wall. Okay, it's intersecting with the wall there. If I click here, let's go down here and look at it from this end. Okay, grab that handle. Not sure why that is spinning, but let's see. Okay, so that's good there. Let's see, can we change the scale here? We haven't talked, there we go. So you can actually incrementally, I don't know why it's skewing like that. What I was gonna say is you can change, you can also put in numbers here under the scale. So I'm gonna change this to 5, tab 5, tab 5. There we go. Instead of messing around with the handles, it's not quite long enough. So let's see if we can change the position here, grab the green. You get the idea. You can add a ceiling that way using the plane. It is definitely not level. That helps a little bit. Raise it up a little bit. And instead of 5, let's go with 10. Turn off edit mode. All right, it's not perfect, but it fits for this quick demo. It is a ceiling, and now it gives us the sense that we are in a closed room. To go to the second room, click on clue, says turn around, click here. Notice that there is no ceiling here, of course, because I just applied it to the other room. So you would replicate that if you would like to create another ceiling. What about the view from the outside? Here we have a window, but there's nothing to look at out the window. Let's go to the creation menu again, and here within the create AI options for FrameVR, there, if you scroll to the right, there's something called Skybox. Now, Skybox does require FrameVR a basic level, and if you don't have that, then you're going to have to upgrade your account, and there's going to be some information in the description of this video about how you can save a little bit of money using the link that I provided to get 20% off to upgrade your frame license. But let's talk about another way that we can do this. Let's go to Pixabay and search for panorama, 33,000 panoramas. And we want one that is of the ocean. So let's go panorama ocean. Perfect. So if we were trying to give the sense, close that out, and this is not a free photo. This is one that is sponsored. So let's go to, there we go, this one. And we want to download that, the largest one possible. First, you have to sign in, download it the largest possible. Then we need to go to a free link from a company called ThingLink. So if you search for Pano to 360 photosphere converter, what they're going to do is they're going to take, right now, our image is a panoramic photo, but it is not in the correct file format for a 360 photo. So if I click on upload and I send them the ocean picture that I just sent them, for some reason I'm getting an error message. Okay, so what I did was I went to Canva and just altered that image real quick, which didn't need to record that part, uploaded it here, and now I'm going to download that and go back to frame. So if I go to creation menu, this time I want to go to 360 content and add a 360 degree photo. I want to upload my own. So I'm going to go to browse, downloads. And initially when that comes in, it is going to be its own asset. However, if I click on that. There we go. Let me actually move it out of the way. When I go to the edit menu, I can actually click on the sphere. People don't need to see the sphere if it's going to stay static, so I can just have it hiding here behind the wall. And when I exit edit mode, if I go over here and look out the window, then I can see that I'm actually in or next to the ocean. It's not a perfectly lined up image, but you can get the sense of it. And then it does change the sky a little bit. If you are looking for an open sky model, you could keep that there, but hopefully you get the sense that when you want to add a 360-degree photo, if I go back here to, if I actually click on this to close the sphere, and let's do that one more time and go to 360 content, 360 photo, and let's see if we can search for one here under Unsplash. You have to connect to Unsplash, so I don't want to take the time to do that. Camera, web address, Shutterstock, same idea. All of those appear like you have to upload your own. I do know that you can actually use if you have an iPhone or an Android that has the wide angle, you can also use any wide angle photo from your phone and go to that link page and upload that as a 360-degree photo. So that's how you would be able to change that. Okay, let's talk about the settings, because just a minute ago we added a 360-degree photo and the settings were already pre-built. So let me bring this back here so that you know that the photo is there. Okay, if I click on the gear and I go to frame settings, let's start from the top. And when I click on frame settings, first one I wanted to go to is under general, and you want to set this up as a single user mode, which means they're essentially going to go through this one at a time. Now, are there ways and instances where I think it would be powerful and effective to use multiple people in an escape room? Yes, you can. However, it does bring in some unique instances in terms of when people click and move things, how does that affect other people? As well as Frame has a limit of up to 8 people can be in an instance synchronously for free, and anything beyond that, you would have to upgrade your account. So for right now, for the purpose of this, I think it would be most effective for educators to click this at single user mode and have people go through it one at a time. Going down through here, most of these others don't really make any sense for you to turn on or off. You could ignore them. Flying enabled, we did talk about that. After you're all done building the frame environment, I would turn off flying so that just in case people don't, inadvertently be able to turn the flying on and be able to move around. Also, here at the bottom, you can get a notification if somebody comes in. But that would require them to be able to log in when they come in. So for right now, I think you just want to keep it at guests. People go through the activity, and that way you wouldn't have to set these notifications. Next section is permissions and roles. If I scroll up here to the top, allow guest users. Again, that's up to you. If this is something that you would like to keep your class to be able to use with a class, then you could turn off allow guest users and password protect this so that only members of your school, because FrameVR is a web page. This, in the top left-hand corner, you can see framevr.io/mazedemo1 is the website address for this. Anybody right now, because this is set up to be available for anybody could come here and participate in this. So if that's something that you want to turn on or off, then you would want to toggle allow guest users off and also password protect this if you would like to keep it something that only certain members could use. Most of these other things don't matter, except for here is a very, very big one. You do not want to turn editing on and allow it to be anyone or members. So make sure that editing is set only to admins, and that means that only the person that's logged into admin will be able to access this gear down here at the bottom. Interacting, we want anybody to be able to interact by clicking the bell, etc. So viewing anyone, speaking anyone, camera, photospheres, we probably only want to keep the admin to be able to turn on or off the photospheres, and the rest of them don't really matter. Nothing that you would want to turn on or off, because this has to do with whether they're going to be synchronously with other people or individually. Performance and environment. So scroll back up here to the top. That's how we chose our environment at the beginning, so that's not something that you're going to do very often. However, if you are going to have a photosphere, if I turn these two off, turn off editing mode, and then click on the photosphere, notice that now all of my stuff goes away. And so you definitely don't want that to happen. If that does happen, go here to the settings and toggle show environment and show scene assets when the sphere is open. Most of the other items here do not really matter in terms of a single use escape game. And then lastly, branding options is not part of the free account. So that should cover the settings as well as how to create both the roof. If you wanted to close this in, go back to creation menu, more shape and plane, and then add that in as a roof. And then we talked about how to add the 360-degree photo to give you a little bit more sense of the environment and the realism. For right now, that's going to conclude this series. This is just the first of this type of series. I'm going to do others around things like Bitmoji Classroom using FrameVR in an immersive environment, as well as getting into deconstructing and rebuilding hyperdocs into frame environments called XR docs. And each one of those, I'm going to be doing it as a tutorial such as this, where I'm going to be talking about and explaining what I'm doing and why I'm doing it so that you can build up more skills, etc. If this is something that you want to learn more about, please visit my website, xrtoolsfored.com, where you can learn more about some of the other training materials that I have. I've got a free ebook there about how to leverage immersive learning experiences, etc. And appreciate you watching. If you're watching here till the end, thank you very much. Please comment, like the video, do all those types of things. Again, I'm not very good at this YouTube thing, but hopefully the information that I've been sharing has been making sense and is helping you progress in your use of FrameVR. Have a great day.